Traditional Polish community celebrates Thanksgiving. Joseph Campanella will profile a Polish priest whose death helped unite all of Poland behind the solidarity cause. And Father Bob Curtis reflects on Christ's power to suspend time. Fall has always been one of my favorite times of the year. I remember as a child looking forward to the time when the color of leaves would change, the air would grow crisp, and we would celebrate Thanksgiving. These celebrations centered around the harvest in neighboring fields and giving thanks to the Lord. You know, many of our families have come here from places that have close ties to the land. And today we're going to meet such a community, a Polish parish that gets back to the land in order to grow closer to God, closer to their roots, and closer to one another. Each fall in Orange County, California, the Polish community gathers for Doizenki, the Harvest Festival. Father Joseph Karp is the spiritual leader of the Pope John Paul II Center in Yorba Linda.
The Harvest Festival, it came to be a tradition. This is our 11th year. And you might say it's a Thanksgiving Day for this community in particular.
The Sakovich family immigrated to the United States less than 2 years ago. Doizenki is a way for them to keep their heritage alive. They wear beautiful costumes from their homeland and participate in the centuries-old ritual.
Doizenki bonds families together. We work together as a team to gather the crops and participate in the festival. Working together helps us love each other. So we work together and enjoy ourselves at this Harvest Festival.
The festival begins with Mass, said in Polish. The harvest is brought to the altar to be blessed. The celebrants carry fruit, vegetables, corn, wheat, and a loaf of bread baked from the first milled grain.
The most important is the loaf of bread and the salt. The bread symbolizes, in a layman's way, the Eucharist. The salt is the preservation of our Christian heritage and faith, you see. So that's why the salt is brought in.
After Mass, the harvest is presented to the Lord and Lady of the Manor. The loaf of bread is then divided up and presented to the villagers in recognition of their labors in bringing in the crop. After the ceremony, it's time to celebrate.
Everyone gets together and has a fine time. They dance, they sing, they eat. And everyone is waiting not for the festival to end, but for next year, when they can start another one.
The celebration includes folk singing and dancing, games and crafts, and food, lots of food. Over 6,000 pierogi, 2,000 cabbage rolls, and 850 pounds of sausage were consumed at the center. But there is more to Doizenki than a seasonal festivity. For many who attend, it has a profound significance.
The spiritual message is to show our dependence upon God, that we are thankful to Him for all His benevolence and goodness, and it's represented always in the harvest. Remember that the Poles are an agrarian people, and they live from the soil, and it's their tradition to bring the harvest in to the Lord of the Manor, and in this instance, it's our Lord Jesus.
It's a very personal thing with me. My father was born in Poland, and my mother was of Polish extraction. And the Polish community is very warm, very giving, and very loving. Those of us who take part in the festival are really showing our heritage.
It's a way to show the younger people the traditions that you don't see very much anymore. When you go to Poland, the only time you see that is in the small villages and that. So it's a way for us to show our culture to even the American people here, and such beautiful culture that the Polish people have.
For me personally, it's one way of saying thanks God for everything that I have, me and my husband, my children. beautiful year we had. There was no illness in the family. We had a piece of bread on that table every day. We had room to live. And I think that's the most important thing that I would love to thanks to God, my simple way.
It's always refreshing to see a cultural tradition carried on in the midst of our materialistic, impersonal world.